Hey everybody, welcome to Bearded Baker Banter, the sports podcast where we always talk about sports. Welcome Trent, welcome Trey.
That's right, jamming into this podcast, man. I love the little intro there.
Yeah, a little intro music. We're working with something.
Little switch up. I like it. I wanna apologize ahead of time, guys, if I sound a little beat down. Last weekend, not a good one for me, boys. Apologize. Had a lot of picks out there that I was loving going into the week, and then I realized, you know what? Sometimes the books win. Sometimes
you just get beat by the books, Trent. You're right.
Yeah, and sometimes it takes like a Patrick Mahomes slide at the 2-yard line.
Yeah.
That could prevent you from maybe covering a spread, which is it's fine. I'm not mad. It's fine.
Hey, and sometimes you feel like a nut, and sometimes you feel like you got punched in the nuts.
There you go.
Interesting.
Just remember, the law of averages, though. It'll come back in your favor eventually.
Hell yeah. I mean, shit, look at us. We were limping into October.
Dude.
Had a couple good days there, a little 6-0 streak. Let's go. And right now we're sitting on one and one day, waiting for our next one to come through.
I'm not gonna lie though, as we finished out September there, I had to go back and just kind of stare at our record from August, just to kind of make myself feel a little bit better because, I mean, we crushed August. I think we were 26 games above 500. And honestly, the way we finished, I believe we were only 5 games under 500 in September, which could have been worse. I mean, the way it felt sometimes, it was like, 1-2.
Tyler,
1-2.
I have a weird visual in my mind of you doing that. Like
I literally stared at it.
I picture that like cartoon Wolverine from X-Men meme where he's laying in bed looking at a picture and like
that's good.
And like that's what you're reminding me of right now. Those are the vibes.
The meme that I felt like while placing bets sometimes was that dog that's in the firehouse. The house is on fire.
Everything is fine.
Everything's fine. That's how I felt.
Hell yeah.
Hey, let's not forget something here this time of the year, which is probably, like I said, one of my favorite in terms of sports. You got the NFL, college football in the thick of it. NHL is actually starting here this month pretty soon.
Can't wait.
And then you got MLB playoffs. But we got, I think, starting today, so today's Wednesday, we got 53 straight days of football.
54.
54?
Yeah.
I mean, that is just music to my ears. That is
the next day that won't have a football game televised, I believe, is the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, so what, 53 out of 54 days or something?
Yeah, it's something crazy like that.
Yeah.
But love it. Absolutely love it. Especially playoff baseball. I know you guys aren't fans of it, but NBA basketball starts up. And then you got, in November, college basketball even starts, boys. So sports are among us.
By the way, I just got an email yesterday that my Blue Ribbon yearbook got shipped again. So
there it is.
I'll be sharing that info along with you guys. Probably the best college basketball resource out there, I'm telling you.
It is equivalent to Trey's Farmer's Almanac.
Yep, exactly right.
Yes.
Well, hey, let's get in here. Let's get into start with some NFL stuff. Trent, you want to lead us off with some previous week NFL discussions? Obviously, we're recording here Wednesday night, released here on Wednesday morning. So we don't necessarily have our Thursday night football discussion, kind of what's going on, but definitely want to look at the previous week here, and then we'll dive into this upcoming week here. So, Trent, go ahead.
All right, so I pretty much, guys, I have 4 bullet points, but I'm going to hit my first one that I would like to speak about. And then I have one scenario-based question that I always like to throw out to you to hear your guys' input, okay? But I'm going to start out with my first talking point, which is holy McCaffrey.
Yeah.
I mean, Trey, I know you're not on the Niners train or anything ever with anything 49ers, but Christian McCaffrey extends his touchdown streak to 13 straight games.
Passing Jerry Rice's record.
Yes, scoring 4 touchdowns this week. Ready for this little chunk of knowledge or chunk of change? If you started with $100 wager bet on him to score a touchdown every week, you would now have right at $106,000.
Wow.
So that's a 3-month salary base there of $106,000.
That's pretty incredible.
Wow.
He is currently on pace to set an NFL record of 2,550 yards and 20 touchdowns.
Is that just rushing yards?
I think that's total yards. I think it would have. Yeah. I mean, if he's definitely not on pace for 2,550 rushing yards.
No, I know. That's why I was like,
it's rushing and receiving.
Okay.
But I always say this with be careful. I hear a lot of people saying like, "Oh man, MVP or Offensive Player of the Year." I'm always tentative to make a future or league or what am I looking at? A season award on McCaffrey with his tendency to sit out a couple games.
Just stop here. Just shut up.
I know, sorry. Reverse. He's going to beat the Trent. They're going to take care of it.
Well, Trent, to add on to that, I mean, watching that game and watching really the 49ers throughout the year, they are, in all seriousness, hands down, I think Super Bowl favorites. They look like the best team in the league. Offensively and defensively. 4 straight games to open the season, scoring 30-plus points. That is the first team to do that since, any guesses?
The greatest show on turf?
No, it's more recent than that, actually. It's it's not too crazy a step, but the Arizona Cardinals in 2021.
Wow.
Yeah,
2021?
So, yeah.
Really?
So here's the thing that is what's kind of even more mind-blowing about the way they're starting their season is they aren't using Deebo Samuel or George Kittle, and they're still scoring 30-plus points.
Pause. They didn't use them last game, but the game before, Deebo had over 100 yards receiving
without BA, so Ayuk wasn't playing, so he had to.
Yeah.
But I'd agree with Trey with the Kittle thing. Kittle's kind of been a non-factor in terms of the passing game. He'll get his touches here and there, but I mean, dude, he's happy. You know what I mean? And that's what I do love about their culture is like
he doesn't need the spotlight. He's a guy that's going to do the blocking, make the extra block to make McCaffrey get these touchdowns. Like he's the behind the scenes kind of guy. And what's crazy is he does have the talent to change a game too. But you're right, Tyler. I think he's content with the team in general. But.
And the thing with him too is once you start to kind of not pay attention to him, that's when he's going to hurt you. So in a big game, down the road.
When all of a sudden teams don't game plan for him, and then he exposes whoever.
Which in all seriousness, could be Dallas. Yeah, I was just going to say it could be this game.
You got downhill linebackers that like to rush. That's perfect time to sell a little tight end screen.
Yeah, we all know Kittle's good at throwing underneath. So,
let's talk about the Patriots Dallas game then. Kind of transition to that one. Talk about a bounce back, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly cannot figure the Patriots out though.
They're bad. I figured them out. They're awful.
Yeah.
And they're downright awful. And that's where I sit there and say to Trey, our bet is a freaking push. Mac Jones, awful. Justin Fields, awful. We can't, whoever gets that beverage from that bet, you might just have to pour it out just because of how ugly it is.
We really couldn't have chose 2 worse quarterbacks to put this wager on.
Can I make a suggestion for this?
Fields had the best game out of both of them all year last week, and they ended up blowing that lead.
Why don't, because it's so bad, how about instead of just a beer, how about the person has to bong the beer, and then I'm going to pour in some peppermint schnapps into the beer while you do it because it's that bad.
That sounds like something I will never do in my life.
Oh, it's happened to me.
Yeah, Trent didn't think you'd ever do it either.
Yeah, and I didn't know the second part of that drink was in there. So
God, drinking mouthwash.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it was strawberry kiwi pinnacle.
Oh, that's right. That's
it was Mitch that you did the peppermint schnapps too. So,
but I think it was maybe week 1. Maybe before the season when we talked about coaches that we think are going to be on the hot seat this year, potentially up for firing. I said it a little bit ago. I don't think he's going to get fired, but it's more and more looking like Bill Belichick is going to be forced out, move to the front office, resign, do something because, I mean, I know it was the worst loss of his career, but they just do not look good. They don't look like they have it figured out.
And let's be honest, they haven't figured it out, though, since Brady left.
Yeah. Remember
they haven't.
we brought that up.
Let's
too,
be honest, though. They haven't. I mean, people can argue that as much as they want, but they literally haven't.
Yeah. And what's going to be even more tough for him is his defense, well, their defense in general for the Patriots has been one of their saving graces for years.
Yeah.
And losing Judon with a torn biceps, and then that rookie Gonzalez, what did he do? He did something to his labrum, I think, or something.
Labia, yeah.
Labrum.
Labrum?
Labia.
Oh, labrum, sorry.
It's a labium.
Yeah, okay.
So here's my hot take on that. Here's my hot take.
Hot take on a labium?
No.
Okay.
Belichick resigns. He resigns. Robert Saleh gets fired. Belichick to the Jets. McDaniels gets fired. McDaniels comes over as the OC for the Jets.
Jeez.
Rogers rides out in the sunlight.
Sunset.
I don't know.
Sunset.
That's what I meant to say. Not the
Sunset.
sunlight.
Not a vampire.
Winning a Super Bowl, Belichick gets one more. You could call him whatever, but I'm just telling you right now, that's a hot take. But could you imagine?
That's way too many moving parts.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you're asking for a lot.
Well, and
guys,
you're assuming that Saleh, dude, you're still off the Jets. I mean, you're saying that Saleh's going to get fired.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I loved this fire that I saw the last week with that bullshit call against the Chiefs with the holding. When they clearly was holding in the backfield, and they just decided after the interception to throw a defensive hold. That was a joke.
Don't buy it. Yeah.
But no, I don't know. That's a lot of things. That's a lot of moving parts. But I don't know, man. And let's also talk about this then, just kind of as an aside here. But with Belichick, right? Has any of his coordinators been extremely successful elsewhere?
Vrabel, would you consider him successful?
But he didn't coach under Vrabes, or he didn't coach under Belichick.
Didn't he?
I think he did.
He started at Ohio State.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
I would say that where Vrabel actually got a start is from one of Belichick's coordinators, who I would say was successful, which was Bill O'Brien. I mean, he didn't win a Super Bowl, but I thought the Texans were always in the mix, and that's actually where Vrabel, I think, got his startup.
Yes, you're exactly right. So he never coached under Belichick. He coached at Ohio State in 2011 as a linebackers coach. Then he was a D-line coach, also at Ohio State. Then he went to the Texans for 2 years as a linebackers coach. He was a D coordinator in 2017, and then he's been with the Titans as a head coach since 2018.
Damn.
I mean, he rose quickly, but I mean, that was thanks to that, guys. By the way, it was quick.
I was gonna say they're getting better and better every week.
Dude, it's nuts. They can just they know what we're thinking right away.
Yeah.
But
Damn, they can
those little fellas are nuts. No, I don't know though. But what I'm saying though is look at McDaniel there. You know, he was like the most sought after coach, and the Raiders took him, and it's been like, okay.
And I thought that was out of nowhere too.
It was out of nowhere, and I honestly, I mean, this is a completely different topic, but I mean, I feel like the Raiders have gone off after two very sought after coaches, and have just done nothing with it. You know, first with Gruden coming back, and then it was like McDaniel's like, oh my gosh, it's the next coming here of the Super Bowl coach, and nothing. It's like, I don't know, man. It's
Yep. Don't want to dwell on it. We're not talking about the Raiders time.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
It's Raiders hate week, baby.
Yeah, dude, Packers. Right. Oh man, that's right. I forgot about that.
That's right.
Hey, it's all right. We'll try to compete with you. But here's the deal: a loss to me is a win. Crashing for Caleb, you know the deal. But
there's a lot of teams doing that. So
yeah. So here's my
and I think two of them are Chicago and Denver, the team that holy shit, crap. Sorry, was made explicit.
Already
did.
We talked about labiums and
right.
I said nuts.
But talk about a tale of two halves with the teams that I think it was like, who wants to lose more? I mean, the Bears finally looked like what they should be looking like, and then only just to blow it and have Russell Wilson just lead a comeback and ultimately win the game. I mean, it was hard not to like. I was searching on Twitter Big Cat's profile because I just wanted to see his tweets because I just think it's so entertaining.
Sorry, Trey. What were you searching on Twitter? You cut out. I was searching on Twitter. Big what?
Big cat.
Oh, cats. Okay. That was a weird cutout. I'm sorry.
But, I mean, even for Fields, like you said, trying to have his best game of the year, up, 25 points? 28 to 3. Yeah, and then losing that game, it was just mind-blowing to me. And I truly think it's between those teams of who wants to lose more, who wants to crash for Caleb, because I don't know. I think the Bears are moving on from Justin.
But what the hell are the Vikings doing?
The Raiders will rise. The Raiders will rise, and when I say rise, I mean fall, because the Bears and Raiders play each other, and the Raiders will lose to them.
It's a little bit like an oxymoron when they will rise,
yes,
but I actually mean fall.
Meaning they're going to rise for me to the occasion, and they're actually going to tank and get the first overall pick.
Here's a question, though. With the greatest track record ever of draft picks, do you actually think they're going to pull the trigger and take Caleb Williams?
I already made this statement. If the Raiders have the number 1 pick and take anybody other than Caleb Williams, I'm leaving them as an organization.
The Raiders would take Shadur Sanders.
Dude, yeah, not even. I could see just some crazy shit happen.
Riley Leonard.
Let's talk about a quote that Sean Payton had today. Said that a player like Caleb Williams is going to change the draft system in the NFL.
Yes.
He is going to change after Caleb Williams' comment, for sure.
Are we saving Caleb for college football talk? We talking about it now because it's one of my notes.
Well, he's in the mix. He's in both conversations.
All right, so let's clarify to listeners. Caleb Williams said that he will only like to play for 5 teams: the Niners, the Cowboys, the Vikings, the Raiders, or the Giants. Thank God we made the list.
Hold on, before you start, the Niners are on that list. Tyler, what's your take on that?
I think it's absolutely obnoxious. I don't want Caleb Williams.
Oh my gosh! You're telling me you would rather have Brock Purdy than Caleb Williams?
100%. It's a team culture thing for me. I don't like the hype around these young quarterbacks that come out. I don't like it. I think he'll be fine because he has had a lot of college football experience, unlike say a Trey Lance. But when I just told Trent this week too, like if Devontae Adams became available, I don't want him on my team.
Wow.
I didn't want DeAndre Hopkins on my team.
You're sounding pretty snobby.
Yeah.
But
and for someone
honestly,
to say they wouldn't want Devontae Adams,
no,
it's just
Trey, I'm not kidding. I mean, I know it sounds absolutely insane. Why would you not take top receiver in? I don't want. It's a culture thing because I feel like we have top receivers in Ayuk, in Debo, in Kittle, McCaffrey even, and it's a culture thing where they're all happy even when they don't get the ball. But you throw a Devontae Adams in there, you throw a DeAndre Hopkins in there, you're going to start to mess with that culture a little bit because I don't know. I think what Kyle's got going on there is very impressive. It's a lot like what people, and I'm not saying they're the Patriots because they don't have the Super Bowl wins like the Patriots, but the way that the players handle themselves in interviews and post-game, press conference things is a lot like Belichick used to have his guys trained where you don't say anything that's going to be taped up on the bulletin board, and you give all your credit to your teammates. And I don't think Adams and I don't think Hopkins are those kind of guys. Are they great players? Yes. I don't think they're those kind of guys. That's just me.
I think Adams is.
He's already complained about not getting the ball at one point in time.
Well, yeah, he's used to elite quarterback play.
He hasn't complained about getting the ball. He complains about his teammates not wanting to win enough.
I don't know.
Anyway. Yeah. So let's here's my next question is it time the Bengals pack it in and tank?
Who? For who though?
Oh, come on. Harrison Jr., Ohio State.
They have T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
Yeah,
trade Higgins.
Yeah, you're getting rid of
Trade Higgins to the Panthers. He's gone. Trade Higgins, draft Harrison, rookie contract.
No, you should trade Higgins to the Jaguars.
Wait, why? Whoa,
put him with Trevor.
Why trade Higgins? I don't understand.
Because then you don't have to pay him.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that's out there because of contract.
If you could secure a top receiver this draft, yeah, you trade. Right now, Carolina's out there saying we need a number 1 receiver. right? They need one, which we said they do. They got rid of everybody.
They do have Adam Thielen.
What?
Remember I said
Okay,
they do have Adam Thielen.
Once again, they need a number one receiver, not an old. He's a role player right now, but I say get rid of Higgins, get some draft capital, and free up cap space and draft Harrison Jr. if you can get him.
No, you don't draft Harrison Jr. I think with their first 5 picks, they need to take the top 5 linemen available.
I agree. You got to protect your asset there, dude.
Yeah, but what I'm going to say, though, is the reason I say is it's time to tank is Burrow is not able to move. And what allowed Burrow to survive in that offense and behind that line that's not the best is he could extend plays, get up out of the pocket. You'd have to sometimes respect his ability to run. He can't do anything. He's a sitting duck right now.
You're saying he was almost successful like a Josh Allen can extend plays. Yeah.
Not as crazy with design quarterback runs,
right?
But he could extend plays with his legs. And right now it's showing that he can't do it. And damn, Bengals -3 versus the Cardinals. I'm not confident in taking it. Matter of fact, the majority of money's coming in on the Cardinals.
Stayed away from it, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
I don't trust it. I'm also the guy though too that's like, all right, I don't really trust it. Let me take that Cardinals +3 because I don't trust it, and then the Bengals come out and put up like 40 points.
Yeah,
see that
that's why I'm not touching it.
Yeah, I stayed away too.
That's why I'm not
touching
it.
That line.
But
we'll talk about
well, speaking of the Bengals, I'm going to take this time to toot my own horn because I'm going to keep bringing this up throughout the season, especially if they continue to fail. But
not just a 1 toot, that's a 2 toot.
Oh yeah, because I have a second toot after this first toot. Oh. But the Bengals not making the playoffs was my bold prediction for the NFL season this year.
Okay.
And right now, the way it's looking, I think the Bengals need to panic. I think Trent's right. Joe Burrow made a comment saying his calf injury is just something he's going to have to deal with this season. And I don't think he should do that. I don't. He's not protected, so he's got no time back there with a hurt calf. I think he needs to take a couple weeks off, let it rest, let it heal, take the season off, and draft. And I'll get a good draft pick. Trade T. Higgins if you guys want to. I don't care, but you need to beef up that offensive line. The Bengals are in ultimate panic mode for me. They don't look anything like a threat to the AFC at all right now.
Do you think, and this is, I would say, a team that's kind of in a similar aspect of things now. They obviously had a pretty major injury. Do you think, though, that maybe, I know we talked about the Jets and what are they going to do at quarterback, and I know we'll get into it a little bit, but, the Jets looked all right last week against the Chiefs. But do you think that maybe they're in a situation where, hey, we have a lot of talent here, but we really don't have a quarterback. If we get a high draft pick here, we can get some steals and even bulk ourselves up even more.
Yeah,
I mean,
the more
Trevor
and more
Siemian, I still go back to that. What the hell are you doing? There's some quarterbacks out there that could be okay, but you bring in Trevor Siemian, I don't get it.
Yeah, I agree, Tyler. The more I think about it, I think the Jets do stick with what they have. I don't think they're going to take on the contract of a aging quarterback just for this year, especially with the promise of Aaron Rodgers coming back and stuff. I think you're right. I think they just kind of take the season on the chin and go from there, and hopefully next season's theirs. But
I'm still concerned. I'm not concerned, but I wonder if Trey Lance ever considers, or if that's ever a consideration.
No way.
It's a guy that's out there that's not doing anything that was a top 3 draft pick.
If anything, I think the thing they do is they pay someone like Matt Ryan the veterans minimum to maybe salvage a season. Let him have fun, see what he can do. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yeah. I don't think Matt Ryan wants to do that.
I think he reached out to him.
Did he?
He did.
Okay.
He did.
Whew. Interesting.
But my second toot that I haven't gotten to yet is Trent. You watched that Bills-Dolphins game, man.
Yeah, that was pretty ugly.
I should have taken you up on that 13-point ridiculous spread you were asking for.
Yeah. Trey, did you, though?
I didn't, but I should have.
Nope. Hey, even a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. So,
I'm finding a lot of nuts. So
that's weird. Anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that one back.
Yeah, dude, I take it back. But
That was a beatdown. That was a beatdown, but I think next time they play, it'll be a different story.
yeah, I
So
can see that.
so give me Dolphins plus 13.5 next time they play. Right now, let's do it.
Yeah, get
Do it.
out of here.
Plus
Back-
13.5.
back Yeah, back that toot up there, Tootie.
I'm done tooting, but
Well, I don't know if you are, but all right. Well, I'm going to talk about another Florida team, Tampa. Baker Mayfield, love it. He's looking like he's found his home right now. I know, Trey, you said this would be his last year in the NFL, but I mean, I just think it's exactly how, and I'll toot my own damn horn here. It's exactly how I said that the Bucs would how they'd end up playing. Lean heavy on a good defense with a good defensive-minded head coach, and allow Baker to just manage the games, minimize your mistakes, and get the ball into your weapons who are on the outside. So I just, in that division right now, we all said the Falcons are going to be at the top. The Falcons look rough with their quarterback. I would take Baker Mayfield
they did start
over Ritter. I would take Mayfield over Ritter right now if I had to start a franchise.
Oh yeah,
So-
I'm not disagreeing with that, especially the last couple of weeks.
I would too, 100%. But here, you want to know something interesting about the Falcons and Ritter and their quarterback situation? Do you know who's sitting behind Ritter, ready to go?
Who?
Taylor Heineke from the Commanders.
Interesting.
And I think he's a gamer. I think
He is a gamer.
I think he'd be an upgrade from Ritter, in my opinion.
Gosh.
Yeah, Ritter looks a little too
Agreed.
panicked at times.
But imagine, I mean, Heineke's a competitor. He's got passion. He's tough.
Yeah.
Like, he's capable. He's very capable. You saw what he could do. He almost beat the Bucs in the playoffs and ruined their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, truly, I would give him a chance and see what he can do with Robinson and Algier and Drake London on the outside there. And who knows, maybe Kyle Pitts might do something.
Right? Like, guys, Jonnu Smith has more receiving yards than Kyle Pitts does. He's the backup tight end. Like,
Wow.
what the hell is going on there?
I don't
I
think
just
they're
don't
using him
get it.
correctly.
I don't either.
I also think they're giving up on him.
What are you giving up on?
well-
You haven't even tried him.
It's just a failed experiment, failed draft, man.
Dude,
Arthur Smith needs to maybe, channel his inner lip saddle that he has sitting on his upper lip.
He goes by
and
Artie. Artie.
He's got quite a lip saddle.
What is his name?
He goes by Artie.
Okay, well, I'm calling him Arthur. That's his actual name. All right, sorry.
Sir
But-
Arthur Smith.
I know.
It's his real name. But anyway,
Yeah, show that
It's-
small fist.
they got to figure. You
Arthur-
have a
Arthur
weapon.
memes.
You got a weapon. You got to figure out how to utilize him. I mean, that's ridiculous. And then what's going to happen is he's going to go somewhere where they're going to put him in a position to be utilized, and he's going to all of a sudden turn his career around.
You know where he's going to go.
Dallas.
Dallas.
I like Tyler. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, Dallas. We said that last week, I think, didn't
Yeah.
we? Yeah. Hey, I'm going to put this out here. Just picked him up on the waiver wire in my league. Texans quarterback,
Stroud.
CJ Stroud. I was on him dropping in the draft because of that whole testing, but holy hell, that dude looks legit. And I'm telling you right now, I think the Texans, Tyler, I know you're all over the Colts and Anthony Richardson. I think the Texans have the better chances to win that division the way they're looking right now.
If you want to save this conversation, because I have a lot of conversation to talk about when we get into picks and bets and stuff with both those teams.
Well, I'm just saying. I think with that, they're deep. I think what's the coordinator's name from San Fran that went there?
D'Amico.
Yeah, I mean he's got the defense looking good. You got some rookies on the offense that are looking really good. You got Pierce, who they finally got him going a little bit in the backfield. He's only a second-year running back. I mean, heck, they look solid. And I'm pretty sure, Trey, one guy that you were on preseason was Dalton Schultz. He's a tight end there too, right?
Yep, exactly.
So I mean, they've got some weapons. They're playing in that division will help them. I'm not saying they're a contender in the Super Bowl, but I think they're a contender in that division.
Right now, the fact that their offense is clicking as much as they are is such an advantage for them, especially with D'Amico as a defensive guy. The fact that their offense looks that good actually makes them pretty damn scary.
Yeah,
and I think the first 2 weeks were a fluke for them.
Whoa, yeah. Okay, I think Stroud is reminding me of rookie year / second season, because I know he got hurt, but he's reminding me of Joe Burrow in the way he played.
Wow,
that's how good he's playing right now.
Yeah.
They're one of my feature bets. Team total wins 5.5.
Oh, you're gonna get it. You're gonna nail it.
Yeah.
Why don't you share that?
5.5 was their team total.
I believe it was. Yeah.
Wow.
I have to check my bet slip, but
should have shared that wealth there, Trey. Like I shared the Orioles.
I absolutely did when we picked our surprises and winners of each division. But
okay.
I give a ton of credit to D'Amico Ryans. He's got the defense playing well. They're utilizing C.J. Stroud, who apparently is learning the NFL system and learning from his mistakes rapidly from reports I'm reading. But the Dalton Schultz thing, Trent, I got to give credit where it's due. That was Colby Conway's analysis, who's turned me on to Dalton Schultz. So
that's right. Cool. I mean, he's a weapon there. I don't know if he has done anything statistically, but
he's a reliable. He's a reliable, exactly, a reliable weapon.
A safety blanket, is that what they call that? A safety blanket? I don't
Security
know.
blanket.
Security blanket, damn it.
Yeah. I got you. Don't worry.
All right.
What's crazy is I'm usually the one to mess up phrases, and I'm correcting all of your phrases tonight.
I know. I sound like Yogi Berra over here.
All right.
Any other takes on the NFL this past week?
I think Rams Colts game was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I like that Sean McVay, I think he's working his way towards Coach of the Year, man. The way he's using the team that he has. Puka Nacua looks great. Kyren Williams or whatever. These two really no-name players that came out of nowhere look like absolute studs in the league. So I think he's using these players to the best of their ability. And I think you got to give Sean McVay some credit too.
Coach of the Year. Trey just made that statement.
That's bold.
I said he's working his way towards there. With what he's doing with that roster is pretty impressive. Is it not?
No, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. What are they, 2-2?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they even sniffed the playoffs.
Well, no,
I think they barely touched 500.
I think Dan Campbell's going to be Coach of the Year.
Yeah, so far. One last game I do want to mention, though, is the Eagles-Commanders. Huh?
That was ugly for the Eagles.
Honestly, though, it's been the Eagles this whole season, though, so far as everybody's like, what are they doing? What are they doing? And then they pull it out at the end.
I'll tell you what it's coming from is their offensive line is not living up to the talent they have there. Jordan Mailata is struggling.
The Eagles' offensive line?
Right.
I think that's a very dumb statement.
Yeah.
That's like the strength of their team.
I think, exactly. It's supposed to be.
No,
and
it is the strength of their team.
No, it's not.
Oh, my goodness.
Not this year.
That's a terrible
Not
take.
this year.
Terrible take.
Oh, okay, well, watch a game. Watch Jordan Mailata get beat, and Jalen Hurts rushed every time.
You're watching the O-line. That's impressive.
Watch it all, baby.
Yeah. I don't like that. I don't agree with that statement, but I just think they're gonna. I think they're taking some growing pains with the play calling, but you got a freaking hell of a leader back there playing quarterback. Not a top 5 quarterback like Trey said last week, but dude knows how to win. He's calm, cool, collective, takes care of himself. So I'm not shying away. They're undefeated.
Pretty sure he's one loss in regular season, I think.
Yeah. So
his career, he's like 22-1.
Nah, did they? Oh, so he wasn't. That's right. He wasn't playing for some of their losses last year.
Yeah. Because that was Minshew, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think 2 of them.
All right.
2 or 3 of them.
Here we go, guys. You ready for this one?
All right. Let's do it.
All right. This is start, bench, cut.
Oh, man.
Start one, bench one, cut one.
They're usually absurd, but go ahead.
Mac Jones.
Okay.
Zach Wilson,
Okay.
and I think this is too easy. Now I'm going to change this. I'm going to change what I had typed in here, and I'm going to go.
Mac Jones, Zach Wilson.
And let's go Justin Fields.
Hold on. First off, who'd you initially have?
I had Daniel Jones. What do you guys like better?
Ooh.
I would have said.
I don't know. I mean, they're all kind of one and the same, but
Yeah. So
What about Russell Wilson?
I'm saying you want to go with those three. Which do you want to go? Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, and Justin Fields.
Go with Justin Fields. Just because there's a team. Yeah.
So ready? Start one, bench one, and then cut one.
All right. I'll go last because I feel like I'm going to have the strangest. But go ahead.
Okay.
It's like West Virginia being a 16 seed. So go ahead.
So third one was. Okay, all right, here I go. I know what I'm doing. I'm starting Mac Jones.
Stupid.
I'm benching Justin Fields, and I'm cutting Zach Wilson.
Wow.
All right.
You can use Justin Fields in some, like,
hold on,
wildcat flex options.
Hold on, who are you starting?
Mac Jones.
Okay. All right, I am cutting Mac Jones. I'm benching Justin Fields, and I'm starting Zach Wilson.
What?
Cutting Mac Jones.
Hot take.
Mac Jones has played in playoff games.
Looks like garbage.
And Zach Wilson doesn't?
Now, last week against a pretty tough defense in the Chiefs.
Do not buy that hype.
I am all on that hype.
Yeah, apparently.
I am going to say that the Broncos beat the Jets this week.
All right, well, hold on. Let's use that as the transition then.
Oh, sorry.
All right,
okay.
Because unless you want to give your take on those three quarterbacks.
Hey, if I want to ask you though, if I would have included Daniel Jones, would any of you started Daniel Jones?
I would have benched him and cut Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would.
Wait, I guess it was Fields.
Justin Fields wouldn't have been in there. Him and Fields would have done the same thing for me. I would have benched them both.
Yes.
Okay, so your starter wouldn't have changed.
No.
Interesting. Very interesting. All right.
Well, and they were.
All right.
And real quick side note though is there was a whole thing on. I think it was. What's the show with Stephen A. on ESPN?
First take.
Yeah,
Take.
First Take, where they actually did this whole thing. If you would take Daniel Jones if you were starting a franchise without any weapons, or would you take Brock Purdy on your team to start a franchise without any weapons? And every single person said Daniel Jones.
I mean,
it's his ability to run.
I would probably agree with that too, though. Yeah.
I understand that, but I don't know. That's again, that can be a different story for a different day. But I have too much bias, so we won't get into that. All right, so let's quickly transition into this week's NFL here. And Trent, you kind of touched on it a little bit with the Jets and the Broncos, and that was actually one game I did want to bring up that I actually am very interested in seeing. Mainly because of one individual that's going to be on that field. Not necessarily playing, but his name rhymes with Bajaniel Gackett. Nathaniel Hackett is the reason that I'm interested in that game. I feel like the Jets are going to prepare so damn hard to beat the living shit out of the Broncos this week. If you know Saleh and the kind of, fire that he can bring, he's gonna bring it, and I feel like it's gonna be for his guy Nathaniel Hackett. The absurd comments that Sean Payton made in the offseason, obviously, when Nathaniel Hackett was the Broncos coach, is really kind of what is driving this force. But that is one game I am interested in. Sounds like it could be a garbage bowl game. Terrible matchup. Teams are pretty rough, but that's one thing I'm interested in. I want to say garbage bowl.
Yeah.
But yeah, any take on this game? Any interest in this game, or is this just, hey, who gives a shit because these teams are terrible?
I think Broncos, and I'm taking the Broncos in this one, and I hate the Broncos, but I think coming off an emotional loss, everybody's hyping the shit out of Zach Wilson and how he looked against the Chiefs, but I just think the NFL made that game the way it was because they knew that they were going to get so many freaking damn viewers with a New York game with Taylor Swift there.
Why? That's 2 weeks in a row, Trent. That's two
Just
weeks
shut
in a
up,
row
Trent.
you said their name.
Just stop. Stop it.
Stop
it.
Shit, sorry.
I hear about it enough. We don't need to hear about it
Just
here.
stop it. Yep.
Oh, okay. Jeez,
Next
that's
point.
good.
Next point.
No,
You make me.
I'm gonna use
you
the
really
bleep-
make
I'm gonna
me
use the
nervous.
bleep
Like I'm
button.
gonna.
I'm gonna use the
I'm gonna
bleep
get
button.
in trouble. Jesus,
I'm gonna use it.
man.
Next point. Any other points you have on this game?
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I just
Next
got
question.
Broncos.
This
No,
guy.
to echo you, Tyler, that's what I had jotted down was Hackett versus Peyton game. Not interested in watching that game for the football at all, mainly just to see the outcome and who knows, maybe we'll see like a intense handshake or something afterwards. You know,
like a hard handy.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Like a handshake.
Hey, guys! Great bet here in this game. Broncos team total.
What is it?
They're scoring 22.
I'm hanging up
Sorry.
on him. I'm hanging
Yeah,
up
I
on
was
him.
gonna say we may have to end it right
Delete.
now.
Delete. Hanging up on you.
It's been real, guys. Good night.
Dude, this
No,
guy's
just
absurd.
kidding.
Can't
Sorry,
stand it.
I actually started laughing to myself because I was trying to figure out how I could incorporate that.
Yeah, I'd like to apologize to all the listeners.
So dumb. So
and
dumb.
our Swiftie fans.
We don't have any Swiftie fans. Well, no, we do. I think Bly's a Swiftie fan.
Yeah.
I can't wait till he hears this tomorrow.
Oh man.
Bly,
No, I got nothing.
The
I got
Dolphins
nothing
fan,
else
but
on
also
this.
loves Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I can't believe you said that, Trey.
I did not say that.
I think let's move on from the garbage bowl.
All right, garbage
Yeah,
bowl.
I have a very under the radar game that I want to keep an eye on and I'm interested in, and that's Tennessee versus Indianapolis.
It's literally the first game I have listed.
The
Yeah.
line's
I mean,
nuts.
It's what is it, 1, right?
Yeah,
1.5.
it's 1.5. But if you go to Barstool Sportsbook, it's 2.5.
For who?
For Tennessee, right?
Nope. Yeah. Tennessee's the favorite.
Wow,
Okay.
take it now.
Take Tennessee
Yeah.
the favorite?
Yes.
No. Oh no! Wow.
Oh, dude, I'm
I'm on opposite ends.
way opposite end. I am
I
totally.
personally, hold on. To be fair, I don't know which way I would bet, but I would lean Tennessee. But that's why I'm interested in this game, is because, I mean, I really could see it going either way. Is an aging Tennessee team with Henry, Tannehill, and Hopkins, are they going to outperform AR-15 and the young Colts? I know Jonathan Taylor might be coming back.
He's not
but,
playing this week.
He's not playing. Yeah, I know, but he's activated, right?
Yeah, he's not going to play.
I know, but still, either way.
You want me to say it one more time? Just kidding.
That whole division is 2-2, and I think that really right now, there's from top to bottom, everyone could win that division in my eyes.
Yeah.
You got the Jaguars, the Texans, the Colts, and the Titans. I mean, that's an important game in the grand scheme of things down the road.
Reminds me of a song. Your eyes.
They are complete. Your eyes.
Guys, I'm gonna hang up and keep singing.
I don't hear it.
Two of the worst voices ever.
No, just Trey. Trey has a terrible voice.
Yeah, so
But
Trey's
no,
very
Trey.
bad.
That I don't know. I feel like if my wife listens to this episode, she's gonna punch me in the head. But I'm on the Colts on this, dude. I actually think the Colts win by at least a touchdown. And I don't care if it's Richardson or Minshew.
It's Richardson. It's gonna
No,
be Richardson.
but I'm saying Richardson can't stay healthy in a full game besides last week.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying,
Richardson hasn't won a game that he's played a whole game in.
right? That's what I'm saying. So I don't care who the final quarterback is. I think they're going to win the game regardless. And I'm giving some credit to Steichen. So that's my thoughts. I don't know. It's a very tight line. It's almost a toss up. Take the money line if you want to. But if you can get that 2.5 bet on Barstool, definitely take that because that's the only place I've seen 2.5. So we'll get into bets and stuff later because that was actually one of my top bets. So moving forward, but
yeah, I got Colts as home dogs. I take it.
I honestly, you got to think though too is when the hell is Vrabes gonna pull the plug on Tannehill?
Never.
He's got to, man, because he honestly, if you change, you got to change something. Tannehill looks so terrible.
That's the guy I trade to the Jets too, by the way.
No way.
I like that.
The Jets are not going to take on any type of quarterback that needs paid like that.
Okay.
What's he getting paid?
They're not going. Tannehill's got a stupid contract.
Oh my gosh.
That's nuts.
That is dumb.
All right. Can I get my next? So I am all over Texans +2 at the Falcons.
I like that a lot too.
You guys are hitting all my games here, guys. Guess we have some pretty common thoughts here, but no, that's Texans being a dog right now. Falcons, if you really go back and look at points right now, and I'll talk about this in a little bit when we get into bets and stuff, but I'll tell you what, Texans are going to put up some numbers. Falcons are not. And Falcons actually being the favorite in this game interests me a little bit. I know it's in Atlanta. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It is.
So, I mean, maybe that's the only reason that there's that little bit of an advantage, but yeah, I'm all over the Texans in this game too.
Next game I'd like to bring up is it's got to be the game of the week next week, and that's San Fran and Dallas, right?
They play.
That's my third. That's my third pick as well, Trey.
I cannot wait to actually watch this game from start to finish. It's the Sunday night game, if I'm correct, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sunday night.
Any of you? Trey, do you work Monday?
I do not.
Either do we. We should all get together and watch a game or something somehow.
Ooh, awesome. Okay, I would do that.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey Tyler, we could do our shotgun bets.
I'm down, dude, because I'll be having some brewskis that night.
All right.
Brewskis.
Sunday fun day.
But anyway, to actually talk about the game, the way I'm interpreting it is, regardless of San Fran's high-scoring offense, I think this is going to be a battle of the defenses. I really do. The Cowboys' defense is lethal. It really is. They're so dangerous even without Diggs at corner and stuff. The 49ers hasn't really played up to their capability, in my opinion, but I think that with this hype, this important of a game, I think they're going to step up. And that leads me to the question, can Brock Purdy survive a lethal defense?
So
the last lethal defense he played, he hurt his UCL and got knocked out of the game. So I'd like to see what he can do in a full game against, I'm talking an elite defense, not a good one that can get a turnover here or two, but I'm talking a dominant defense. And Micah Parsons, what do they still have? Vander, or what's his name?
Vander
Esch.
Yeah. And then I know they have Lawrence.
So
yeah. So I mean, that's just, I don't know. I'd like to see what he can do.
So here's my thought on this: is number one, I find it a little bit funny that Jerry Jones is trying to do what Trey's been doing, is reverse jinx this game by coming out with the comments of oh, this is a Super Bowl caliber team. This is going to be our biggest test. I think it's all bullshit because Jerry Jones is doing.
Is it bullshit? Because that's everything. I think those are the truest statements I've ever heard.
I don't disagree with that, but the way that he said it though is he's trying to reverse jinx it, put his motivation in his team. This is it right here. This is it. And it's not going to work because let's be honest with you. I know that the Dallas defense is great, or I would say very good. When I look at somebody, say like a Shanahan, I know that he's gonna get quick passes. He's gonna do screens. He's gonna get some McCaffrey in space. I do think we go back to what we had talked about. I think that Kittle has a big game. Purdy's not going to be hitting 40-yard balls. He's not going to be throwing 30-yard balls. He's going to be throwing, 10, 15-yard routes, letting the Yak Bros do what they got to do. I just don't think. Number one, I don't like the line. I hate I hate -3.5 lines.
No, I love it.
I hate -3.5 lines just because it's always like, oh, well, you don't get the field goal just in case it's the last-second field goal. But I'm also on the side of I don't think Dallas's offense is good at all. And I think San Fran's offense is that good that that's going to overshine how good Dallas's defense might even be. I say San Fran by more than a touchdown.
Yep, I'm with you.
So that's
I was going to say, Trey, I'll give you 7 points.
You'll give me 7 points.
Like I'm taking Niners -7.
Can you give me 7.5?
Nope, I already doubled the spread. Take it or leave it.
You did double spread.
I'll take it.
I'm taking Niners -7.
I'll take Cowboys +7. And Tyler,
Okay.
I actually disagree with your analysis on a defense doing enough to stop, or I'm sorry, an offense doing enough to outperform a defense like that. Really, when was the last time we've seen a defense that's been as good as the Cowboys?
I mean, the Niners defense
Trey,
the last 5 years.
I
disagree.
Trey, I'm gonna go out on a limb here though. Like, maybe I'm not though, but I get the pass rush is good, but is their secondary that good? Like, you guys, when they lost Diggs, you guys all thought and Diggs is the top corner in
But
the
Diggs
league.
is also
and you guys,
horrible in coverage. He just gets interceptions.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
That's like saying when Chris Carter only scores touchdowns and he was horrible, right? Like I'm sorry, but the whole entire point of playing defense, in my opinion, is get the ball back.
Get the ball right.
And if that's what you're extremely good at, I have a hard time saying that wasn't a huge loss. I don't see how you cover all those guys. So one, I see the Niners defense, the style of offense I see the Niners offense with the style that they run, which is get the ball out quick. I think it's going to happen. I think Shanahan's going to out formation Dan Quinn.
Yep.
I think he's going to out scheme Dan Quinn.
Yep.
Because in reality, I mean, the two guys, correct me if I'm wrong, they have worked together, haven't they, with the Falcons?
Shanahan and Quinn, yeah.
Yeah, so Shanahan was Quinn's offensive coordinator. Shanahan is known. The way he got to the top was he stayed and sat in every single defensive coordinator meeting when he was an offensive coach coming up through. So if there's one guy, and maybe I'm just giving Shanahan way too much credit, but there's one guy that already knows the scheme of Dan Quinn's defense, it's Kyle Shanahan. So I'm going Niners. Like I said, I'm taking Niners -3.5. That's why I say I love the line because I think it's going to be easy cover.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess what we're also forgetting about is how vulnerable Dak Prescott is to throwing interceptions.
That's it right there.
And I am not a believer right now in the Cowboys' offense by any means.
Nope.
So I don't think I think I like the Niners scoring points against the Cowboys defense more than I like a Cowboys offense scoring against the Niners defense. Did I say that right?
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
kind of my thought as well.
Yeah. So that's my take. That was actually, guys, my pick of the week.
Ooh, pick of the week.
So,
really?
I mean, for NFL.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
my. Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
let us get into anything else NFL wise. Do you guys want to get into a little bit of bets and stuff? What we're looking at here?
Yeah, let's each list off our best bets of the week.
All right. So what I did here?
I already did.
I know.
You only got one, Trent?
No, I got Colts plus 1.5, 2.5. You can get that right now from what I'm hearing. I like Texans plus 2, and I like Niners. I like Niners -3.5. Those are my 3 best picks.
Okay.
All right.
With my
Tyler,
most confident being the Niners one.
Okay.
Okay. Tyler, let's hear your best bets.
So I got five single bets. I'll just rattle them off quick. I got Colts 2.5. I got Texans +2. And I took 3 team totals. I got Texans team total over 20.5, which is actually +105. Colts team total over 20.5, -120, and 49ers team total over 23.5, -130. So those were my 5 bets. I did put a teaser out there, a B teaser for us.
I have one too.
Yeah, my B teaser is I'm just gonna say it's +7.5 points. And I took Bills, which will end up being a +2, Texans, which will end up being +9.5, Lions -2.5, Dolphins -3, and Ravens +3.5 against the Steelers. So, and that's a teaser with a +7.5 points, which comes out to be, I believe, +240. I took that on FanDuel. So that's my B teaser for NFL.
How many total legs was your teaser there?
5.
5. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. My best bets for the week. I got 3, and then I also got a nice little B teaser. My first bet is
we're gonna make B teaser shirts here soon.
Yeah, we got to.
It's got to be triple B teasers. Triple B.
That's fine. Triple B teasers, but we got to put like the peach emoji on there too.
Oh
no! Please don't do that.
All right, go ahead, Pat.
First bet is Rams +4.5. Second bet, Titans money line. Third bet is Lions -9.5.
Where do you get 9.5 at? Early?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure did. And
I've
then
seen 10.5.
Yeah. I grabbed it. I actually think it was maybe even the day after games. I love early lines.
Dude, you got to take early lines.
And they changed so much. If you can get a nice advantage on a lot of them, but no, my B teaser of the week. I'm doing something a little different. Something I'm going with here, and I'm taking all unders. I'm teasing unders.
Whoa.
So the first under is Saints Pats, originally 40. I'm teasing at 7, so 47. Jets Broncos under 50.5. Titans Colts under 49.5. And Cowboys San Fran under 52.
Ooh.
Under 52.
Yeah, because I'm teasing them all up 7 points.
Man, I did not know you could do over under teasers.
What?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, Trent, that's usually what I do.
I mean, I take alternate lines, but I've never knew that you could just do like the teaser that way.
Points.
Oh yeah, you can mix and match too if you want.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So you can set that trade to like all go higher 7 points.
If
you're betting unders, you're raising the total points.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Wow, that's phenomenal. That's you just created a monster.
You just double BT'd it, didn't you?
Oh.
I got excited.
A dually BTs.
Anyway, 4-leg teaser for me. +6.5.
Okay.
It comes out to be +200 overall.
Okay.
I got Texans +8.5 versus the Falcons. I have Colts +8 versus the Titans. I have Eagles +2 versus the Rams, and then I have the Niners +3 versus the Cowboys.
I like it. I like you can actually get them +3.
Oh yeah, full field goal. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I mean, they're gonna win by more than a touchdown.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's move into NCAA football. If you guys are ready.
All right.
So what we'll do is we'll touch on a couple big games from last week. We will then dive into a couple big games this week. We'll also give our final bets, kind of like we just did with the NFL here. What we really like moving forward. So, any game you guys want to start with? Because I know there was I don't know, the one that really sticks out to me was obviously the shootout. The game in which I actually picked the under last week, which I just felt like throwing up. That was Ole Miss and LSU. Ole Miss LSU scored, over 100 points. I took them under 67, so I was pretty close with that bet. But
they happen.
Holy hell! But I mean, honestly, I guess my biggest question out of that game though is what the hell is up with LSU, and are they just that bad? And I'm gonna throw one of my favorite phrases out there: hot seat. I got a hot seat
for Brian Kelly.
Oh hell yeah! Brian Kelly's seat is hot. The boosters out of LSU do not like to lose, especially 2 out of your first 5 games. Yeah. You better understand that his seat is freaking hot.
How hot is hot?
Dude, so hot.
Tyler, I would say I could see where you're coming from because really, kind of like you with your Clemson, I had LSU as one of my playoff teams, if you recall.
Well, and here's the deal, and we talked about this, though, is we talked about how hard LSU's schedule is, starting from game 1 with Florida State, and it's not going to get any easier. And
look at their game this week.
Yeah, I know.
I freaking love that game.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait for that game. Tyler, don't take the under on that, please.
I'm not. I'm staying away from that one.
Thank God. All right.
But
no, I'm with you. LSU, I mean, good for Lane Kiffin, other than the fact that the entire school is already facing over $175,000 in fines because of their fans. But hell of a win. Hell of a win for Lane, to sit there with the big dogs of the SEC and get that. Granted, I'm sure he would have loved to knock off Bama the week before, but still, I mean, that's a tough schedule for Lane there to be able to steal one of 2 from those 2 top opponents right there.
So you already lost to Florida State. You already lost to Ole Miss. You have I don't think anybody expected Missouri to be ranked here. Now you face a 21 ranked Missouri. And then you still have Alabama. You still have Florida, which, again, I'm not sold on Florida. And you still have an A&M, granted, without a quarterback. But it's not getting easier for them. So.
Yeah, I mean, that game last week was awesome. It did live up to the game of the week hype because, going back and forth was just exciting as hell. But the big thing that I took away from that was Ole Miss outscored LSU in the first and the fourth quarter, 42-14.
Start strong, finish strong.
Yeah, so they started out slow and then they ended slow. So LSU. To me, Tyler, you're right. They have nothing to play for. I know we talked about college teams packing it in. I don't know if they do that, but I think LSU is going to play spoiler the rest of the year.
They're gonna have to. That's all they have to play for.
Yeah, they're going to have plenty of opportunities to do so.
As long as their guys aren't punching fans.
Jeez.
Yeah, that fan deserved it. But anyway.
I don't disagree with you. I agree. That guy was an idiot.
Fan deserved it. Get out of it. Get off the field.
Yep, exactly.
So another game I want to talk about is Washington, Arizona. And I think it might have been a little bit of a refractory period for Penix.
Still won the game.
Yeah, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
I do. The Big Penix energy was not in full force. I believe he still threw for over 300 yards, but didn't have any touchdown passes. No touchdown passes. But at the same time, kind of evens out a little bit, considering he's thrown about 4 or 5 every game so far. But no touchdown passes this week. I think they're on a bye this week. Am I correct in saying that?
I think you're right.
Yes. They have big game.
Yes.
Big game coming up. I think is it Oregon or USC next?
I'm not sure.
I think they do. I think they have one of those 2 top dogs next game. So they have a bye and then the big game.
It was just. The final score of that game of the Arizona game in Washington was kind of deceiving. Yeah. The spread was 19.5, and they only ended up winning by a touchdown, but they were up by 14 points, and Arizona scored with a minute left. So, like I said, not just kind of deceiving final score, but still to be almost 20-point favorites and being that close of a matchup was a little bit. I know it's Pac-12 rivalry game, but still, it's a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, That was interesting to me, especially being a Penix fan. So,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
You are a big Penix fan.
big Penix fan. Yep.
yeah, you love Penix.
All
Trent,
over you.
any big surprises? Any games you want to talk about?
I got to talk about one that just hurt my feelings a lot. It gave me so much hope. Duke Notre Dame.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. That was a game right there until
That was
the end.
brutal. And to potentially like have a chance to make him kick a field goal.
Yeah.
But then to give up that big touchdown, that was brutal. And then even just like to pour salt on the wound to get Leonard hurt at the very last play with his ankle getting rolled up on.
Yeah.
Brutal way. But I mean, I think it also shows the nation that, they won a big one at home against Clemson. They had a chance to win that big one there against Notre Dame.
They should have.
Duke football might not be a fluke this year. Yeah. So credit to them.
What does that say though about? I think I'm even more interested too. And what does it say about Notre Dame football? I mean that was almost 2 in a row for Notre Dame to lose. You know what I'm saying? Where you had Ohio State.
Tough games, aren't they? I mean, well, one was at home, so Ohio State was at home, but both really, really, really tough games. I mean, versus ranked teams, and then they got a third straight ranked opponent with Louisville this week. I mean, here's the thing.
And then they play USC after that.
Yeah.
That's a crazy 4-game stretch.
I equate Notre Dame football to kind of like Duke basketball. You are getting everybody's best week in, week out. So that's just my take. So yeah, I mean, granted, listen, hold on. Notre Dame is one of the most hated programs, just like Duke basketball is one of the most hated. Don't get me wrong, there's a huge fan base too. But what I'm saying is
loved and most hated.
Yeah, when that team comes to town, you're gonna get a hell of an atmosphere. You're gonna get a hell of an effort from no matter what team you're playing. I mean, shit, the freaking service schools give Notre Dame a game. So it's like they get challenged every week. So that's just my take on it. So you can disagree with it, but Notre Dame is good and they're consistently good. Not like Middle Tennessee State, I'll just tell you that much. Jesus. It's the worst. This is the worst. Oh, sorry. Hey. They're playing now, listeners. Sorry.
So, Trent, does that give you any other thoughts? Because I know we just talked about Penix not having any touchdown passes against Arizona. Hartman also didn't throw any touchdown passes against Duke. So.
Yeah, I think he's hurt. I think he hurt his chances.
Tyler, here's the thing: is yes, I like Hartman. He was my sleeper and Heisman winner. But like we say here on the Bearded Bacon Banter, the cream always rises to the crop top. And Caleb Williams is going to be the second person in the history of the Heisman to be the Heisman winner 2 times.
Just understand that was not the bet that you and I made. Is you bet on Sam Hartman, not Caleb Williams. So just so everybody's clear on that.
Yeah, so if Penix or Hartman don't win it, we push.
No, we said whoever finishes higher in the voting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
Okay. I still think Penix wins it, so
no chance.
It's fine. No, but that does kind of, the USC game was another game I did want to bring up quickly just about last week is USC Colorado. I did not see Colorado scoring 41 points. Was it legit? I don't know. I can't. I don't know.
No. It's just like what Trey said with that Arizona Washington score. Is they packed it in. They realized, hey, this is Colorado still. Are they a better version of Colorado? Yes. They dominated the first half. I mean, sheesh. I'm pretty sure Caleb Williams threw like 6 touch. I edited myself. I think he threw 6 touchdown passes almost in the first half. And then they said, all right, let's take it easy. Let's just get out of here healthy and move on. And you know what? Colorado did make some plays. I'll give credit to them, but they're still, to me, they're not, they're better, but they're not there. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. That's fair. Any other games? I mean, the only other game that I wanted to mention too is just as a fan, I was impressed Tennessee won as handily as they did against South Carolina. Kind of revenge game for them. Brew McCoy, pretry gruesome injury to his ankle. That was pretty disgusting. If you get a chance to watch that, I probably wouldn't. He's gonna be done for a while. That was way dislocated and broken. So
I didn't see that. Yeah.
That was pretty gross. I will say, toot, Trey, Kentucky, 33-14 over Florida, spanked them.
You knew he had to get that in there, Trey.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That was one of the notes I had looking just to talk about this past week was I think there's about 5 or 6 very, very impressive teams so far this season. Yeah. Listing them off, 2 of them that are surprising are Kentucky and Missouri.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that they'd be
I agree with that.
2 of the undefeated teams in the SEC. Yeah. The other 4 I have are Texas, Penn State, Oregon. I think looks very sharp, and I think Bo Nix is playing himself into the Heisman conversation as well.
Don't disagree with that.
And then the last one is Oklahoma. I think that they're with Brett Venables is looking very, very impressive. So, that's the only thing I had to kind of reflect on with the week 5 of the NCAA football.
So let's kind of move forward then into this week because I actually kind of want to start, Trey, with that Kentucky pick that you had mentioned.
Hey, Tyler, can we push out all our picks and then pick ones we want to talk about then after? Give your full slate.
Sure, that's fine. Let's do that.
Let's go full slate.
All right, full slate. College football, I got some interesting ones, and it's actually probably going to end up being my board when we put a board out on Saturday because I already have a favorite, an under, a favorite, a dog, an under, and an over. I'm going Alabama -1.5, which is -110 against Texas A&M. Texas A&M lost their starting quarterback. I think Alabama's going to start to figure it out here and surprise some people, even though they're already ranked 11. I think that might be one of their only losses this year. But I hate to say it, but I feel like that's one of my looks. Washington State against UCLA. I'm taking Washington State +3.5, -110.
Wait. You have Washington State +3.5?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then my under and over, I got Nebraska, Illinois. I got under 43.5, and Oklahoma, Texas. What's that? Red River Rival? Is that what they call it? Right?
Yeah.
I want to make sure. I want to make sure I get all the R's correct. I knew it was like a bunch of R's. What's that? What do you say?
Nothing. Never mind.
Take your money bags.
No, he said muddy banks.
What does that mean?
Hey, when the river runs red.
Okay. Oklahoma, Texas. I am taking over. I actually, and this might be a bet if you guys want to take it. Barstool had it at over 59.5. Everywhere else right now it's 60.5 and 61.5. So you may want to take it 59.5. Oklahoma and Texas.
Oh man.
But yeah, I'm taking the over on that. I learned my lesson with the LSU game last week. You might score 100 points, so we'll see. That's my picks. Do you guys want my B teaser a while?
You making a college?
You did a college football one. Holy hell!
I was all over this shit. I B teased the hell out of it.
Save that B teaser for the end.
All right, go ahead. Give me your picks, and I'll give you my B teaser.
Trey, you want to go or?
Yeah, I'll rattle mine off. I didn't really make picks per se. I just kind of jotted down points on games I like, but I do have a couple that I can kind of just rattle off. First one is I'm actually in the opposite of you, Tyler, with Washington State, UCLA. I'm going to take UCLA -3.5. Hopefully I can find it at 3 or a little lower, but I think that UCLA is actually a pretty dangerous team. It's not getting a lot of credit for how good they're playing. Their running backs, 2 of them are really good. Their names are Harden and Steele, which is a pretty sick running back duo name. But
hard to steal.
Harden in steel. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm taking that as one of my picks. So UCLA plus or minus 3.5.
It's kind of like a Metzger Wickersham or something like that, huh?
Yeah.
Style the eights.
The other one I like is Notre Dame minus 6.5 against Louisville. I think that they've played a couple battle-tested games, and I think that I think it's going to benefit them. I don't think Louisville is. I know they're undefeated, but I don't think they're as good as Duke and Ohio State.
Side note: Notre Dame's -6 on DraftKings.
Oh, okay, I would take that even more than. Last one is I take Cal plus 10 or plus 9.5, whatever you can get it at home against Oregon State. Oregon State's
State?
a team. Yeah.
Oregon State, the same team. Hold on. They're ranked now
15.
Okay. You're taking Cal.
Yeah, at home plus 10.
Cal is horrible.
Did you see Cal? Did you see Cal's home game last week?
You talking to me?
Yeah, they can't even fill. They can't even fill the stadium, man.
Dude,
Okay. Guys,
It's like what the? Can I just say what the hell?
Bet me on it then.
I guess I just want to say, like, what the hell is the ACC thinking? Not trying to get Washington State and Oregon State rather than frickin' Cal and who else? Stanford.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell do they think? I'm sorry. You're good. Anyway, sorry. Another time, another topic. But sorry. Go ahead. Are you done with your picks?
Yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, the LSU Missouri game intrigues me, but I don't have a bet on it quite yet.
Yeah.
I think that's Missouri's true first battle tested game. After LSU, they still have Kentucky, Georgia, Tennessee, and Florida to play. So, yeah, that's just a game that intrigues me. Not necessarily a pick. I do like Texas minus 6.5 as well. I think that this is really the big and final test for Texas. They play really the only important matchups after this game are Texas Tech, TCU, and Kansas State are their biggest matchups. So if they can get past Oklahoma at home, then it's looking good for them. So
I'd like to propose a beer bet.
Okay.
I will take Oregon State
Okay.
minus 10.
Give me 10.5.
You just took Cal plus 10.
Yeah, this is for a beer bet.
No.
That's
if
not
you're
how this
on
works.
10, give Tyler the spread.
If you're on the 10, I
okay.
just proposed
Look
to
at-
take the opposite.
That is just grand coming from Trent, who likes to add 8 points onto the lines for his beer
So
bets.
what I'm saying, I'm taking your line.
I did it in your favor, Trey.
I said beer bet on your line that you're taking.
All right, I'll do it.
10? Will you give me 9.5?
Yeah. No, 10.
All right, 10. If it's 10, it's a push.
Well, yeah, that's how it works.
I'm just making sure
Very
you know
good.
that. Then we both have to do it.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I agree.
Not
All right, my
twisting
picks. All right, I got five picks that I like. I'm also on Washington State plus 3.5 at UCLA. Only concern there is there's something fishy about it. Like I just
super fishy. Why is a team that high such an underdog?
Bingo.
Yeah, I hate
but
to
Trey, you're the
think
one that always says don't believe in that shit.
traps.
No.
traps.
I said trap games are real. I truly believe that. If a line is too good to be true, sometimes it exactly is.
Okay.
There's a reason why. They're professional sports bookmaker, line makers for a reason.
All right, I'm going to go on to my next pick, and I think this is my best bet of the week, or for college football. I like Texas minus 6.5. I really do, really do. I think Texas pounds them. There's no way.
In the Red River.
Yeah, yeah. Watch out for the Muddy Banks, but
Muddy Banks.
I really think Bama is still better than Oklahoma, and Texas went into Bama and knocked them off. Like, that's hard to do. So I just like what Ewers is doing. I think he's the he's the guy down there. Even with the pressure of a Manning brother sitting, off on the sideline looking over his shoulder, I'm big on him. Rice, I believe it's Daniels, who's like 8 years into college now. It's like his 7th school that he's played at. I'm going Rice -9.5 versus UConn. UConn is UConn. They suck. I am currently on. I can't decide on what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna take an alternative and include this in an alternate line in a parlay. But I like Missouri plus 5.5.
Ooh.
I like Missouri. They're at home. This LSU team has shown that they can't play any defense. I can't say that Missouri is going to play tremendous defense. However, that's also why the other pick that I like in this is over 64.5 as well, Ty. Definitely not going to take an under on an LSU game, especially against a team. Remember, Missouri has the leading receiver in college football period right now. And then I have Kentucky. This is one that I added late, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm torn with this one. I actually just kind of wanted to talk about this game. But I would have a hard time not taking Kentucky plus 15 at Georgia.
Okay.
Georgia hasn't covered a game all year.
And that's where it's
I do want to talk about that game, too.
Trey, you want to talk about, overthinking a line? Deep down inside of me, when I first saw it at 14.5, I was like, I guarantee this is the game where Georgia comes out and says, this is why we're still number one. And they just freaking crush Kentucky. And Kentucky sits there and says, yep, I'm just going to play in another mediocre bowl game, typically against Penn State. But, sorry to take a little jab there, but they usually do. But I don't know. There's something tells me. I guess I want Kentucky to cover, or I want Georgia to freaking lose.
It might just be the fact that Georgia has too many guys arrested that they just can't be successful this year. I don't know. That's not talked about a lot. One. That was a different school right now. That'd be talked about a lot. But
yeah. So those are my picks.
Right.
My most confident pick though for Tech is Texas -6.5. I know it's a rivalry game. I know it can go either way, but I just think there's too many 5 stars. There's too many 5 stars at Texas. So I think they dominate Oklahoma.
All right.
I'd like to add on one more bet.
Oh,
and it's actually wow.
Can we do one more?
Sorry, we're watching this Middle Tennessee State game too. But no, the one bet I want to add on, it's actually tomorrow night for a college football game. I think Liberty -19.5
okay.
at home against Sam Houston.
Interesting.
Oh, can I say one more?
Sure.
No.
How the hell is Maryland plus 19.5 at Ohio State?
All right.
I respect Maryland a little bit more this year. They're freaking high scoring offense. So that's my only last thing I'll add in there.
I'll say this. So that actually is part of my teaser. I took the over in the Ohio State Maryland, but I teased it with 6 points. I got Ohio State Maryland over 51 with the tease. Like I said, it's teased 6 points. I got UTSA and Temple over 48.5. North Carolina -2.5. Notre Dame is even. And I got Virginia Tech, Florida State over 47. That's my 6-point teaser, and that's plus 400.
Wow.
So,
I like that.
Do with that what you will. But
I like that a lot.
Little mixture of overs, little mixture of spreads, some unders.
Heck yeah.
All right. Anything before we move into a couple games here real quick, and we'll finish this up.
No, I guess real quick, the next round is set for MLB playoffs. All first wild card series got freaking swept.
Yeah.
So most important thing is to know that the Orioles will play, I think it's at noon on Saturday against the Rangers.
Yep.
So
definitely. And I'll say this too. I mean, especially being local team. But like the Phillies, man, they definitely, and I know we talked about this the other night, is they have an atmosphere.
Oh yeah.
And
can't beat it.
The more times they can play at home, the better. I mean, you want to talk about? I know Philly fans are like all in on their teams all the time, but like when you see some of these Philly games in the playoffs, I mean, look at last year too. I mean, they made the World Series. When you see some of these Phillies games in the playoffs, it's dynamic, man. They are all in. I mean, there's a reason that they swept 2-0 tonight. But I feel like the most surprising in terms of baseball playoffs tonight was the fact the Twins were actually able to sweep the Blue Jays. Did not see that one coming because I believe the Twins won their first playoff game since
it was the last 18 playoff games they played in.
Yeah, it was something crazy. So yeah, it was something crazy. But like the fact the Blue Jays are pretty tough, and I'm surprised they actually got swept. And let's be honest, Rangers sweeping the Rays, like that, I ain't mad about.
Yeah, they got outscored 11-1 by the Rangers.
Yeah, I ain't mad about it.
That's crazy.
And I'll tell you what, Tuesday night's game. Yeah, Tuesday night's game looked sloppy as hell from the Rays. They scored almost on all errors. Rays were awful.
It doesn't help that they have like 10 fans too in a playoff game.
Seriously though, like for a good team, like that was surprising. But
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I'm very glad that we're playing the Rangers rather than the Rays.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, I know the Rangers probably have more like weapons and pitching weapons, especially right now, but I just don't like playing the divisional team in a 5-game series like that.
Because you play them so much already, it's like...
Right. They know them so well, and I just don't like that. Whereas, I don't know, I feel like the Orioles will just come out even more hyped against a team they don't see as often. And I don't know. I'm nervous, I'm not going to lie.
No, I watched our manager with his interview with Scott Van Pelt last night on ESPN. It was pretty awesome.
Okay.
He's so down to earth. Last night was his birthday. And Van Pelt said,
wow.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry I brought you here late, 11 o'clock on your birthday. And he's like, it's good, dude. He goes, you're a fan. Because Scott Van Pelt's an Orioles fan, so which was cool.
Oh, well, good to know.
But, yeah. Pretty neat, but yeah.
Okay.
Interesting stuff. So, yeah, baseball playoffs full effect. Hockey starts very soon, like we mentioned earlier. It's going to be, all cylinders here, boys.
That's right.
Sports, and sports.
Good thing we have a sports podcast.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of that, how about Frozen Frenzy, the NFL red zone of hockey? Like, come on. That's nuts.
It's going to be hard, man. I'm very interested to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that John Buccigross is calling it, I think that's why I'll watch it.
Yeah, I agree. Only reason I'm going to watch it as well. Bucci's the man.
Yeah. Bucci, man.
Hey, appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend. Appreciate everybody listening today on this Thursday special episode. We'll be back next Friday morning at 9 a.m. But enjoy it. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, take it easy, guys. And Trent, hey, go Pack, go.
I have no response.
Wow, no response. I was letting you respond.
I was waiting for it.
No response.
I'll let our pad speak for itself.
Ooh, all right. See you guys.
See ya.
See ya.